Hey guys, it's Superstar0717. Went to F&M last week, did pretty well, but I do want to change the deck up just a little bit more. Actually, take that back, actually quite a bit. I've taken a lot of you guys' suggestions into account, and so this is going to be the newest build, and it is quite different from the last one. So, starting, of course, you have your 4 Reckless Waif. Reckless Waif is, once again, probably your favorite card in the deck if you've played this deck for a while. Getting it off turn 1 is just amazing. They're going to put in a lot of damage before your opponent can really do anything to stop you. And it's just a really good card. It's usually going to, the games that you win, you're going to start off with a turn 1 Waif drop and go from there. It's a good card. It's put in a lot of work for me, and so it definitely, if you're not running 4, definitely give it a try. So up next you have your 4 Mayor. Probably, you know, the biggest support card in the deck. Gives all your wolves +1/1 and their humans, and +1/1 on the flip as well. It's an awesome card. Puts in so much work. It's an awesome card to Phyrexian Metamorph. And if your opponent doesn't have an answer for him, he will win you the game by himself. He is a 1/1, so he's kind of susceptible to a lot of things, but it is corrected, or that issue is going to be addressed later in the deck. So 1/1, he's alright on his own. On this side, on the flip, he's amazing by himself, and he'll win you plenty of games, I promise you. So the first change to the deck, I'm running 3 Gatsaf Shepards. I originally didn't like him when the format was kind of starting to develop, but now that we kind of have like a pretty good example of what it looks like, the matchup that he's good is going to be pretty interesting. Against the green-white humans deck, they can't block him unless, or excuse me, green-white tokens. They can't block him unless they decide to sacrifice a shrine of loyal legions. And if you can get them to sack that shrine before it snowballs on you, then you're doing pretty well. On the flip, he's a 3/3. On this side, he's a, you know, he's a 2/2 for 2. And with this guy, he becomes a 3/3, and the flip, he's a 4/4, and he gets bigger with another card that I'll show you in a little bit. So, excellent card, Gatsaf Shepard. A change to the deck, another change to the deck at least. Daybreak Ranger down to 3. She was good, but I decided to drop her down to 3. I didn't get the most benefit out of her per se on the flip, and there's not really enough creatures with flying in the format to really, you know, make you run 4 of them. There is the Inkmoth Nexus, but you run 3 and then you get them out. Usually, you'll get them out before they really start wrecking you with that card. So, for another 3-drop, we have Kruin Outlaw. Excellent card. Puts in a lot more work than Daybreak Ranger. Obviously, that's why we have them as a 4 of and a 3 of. But she is a really good card. Probably one of your easiest win cons because your opponent won't be able to block everything, and you'll get in 1 or 2 werewolves per turn. It makes it a lot more difficult with Gatsaf Shepard because both creatures have to share either a color or be an artifact, and so you can really get in a lot of damage with that. Okay, up next we have 2 Phyrexian Metamorphs. Interesting card, copies anything in the deck. It's a pretty good utility card, copying your opponent's spells and things like that. Excuse me, not spells, artifacts and creatures. And it puts in a lot of work. I really like this card. If you're not running it, or if you don't want to run it, or you don't like this card, you can try 2 Grook Relentless. I've heard a couple of subscribers say that. But yeah, it's a personal choice. I like Phyrexian Metamorph. I might try out Grook when I get the money to buy it, but when I proxied him, I didn't really like it. And the last creature spell, 3 Instigator Gang. On the flip, he's like a god. He gives everyone +3/0, and he becomes an 8/5 swinging. So he's pretty nasty, and I believe he has trample. Yeah, he does have trample. Anyways, so he's a great card. Like, I mean, he's just an excellent card. If you're not playing at least 2 of him in your build, then just stop playing Werewolves because that's retarded. And he's also a cool card too for Phyrexian Metamorph. And so now we're going on to the non-creature spells. Start off with 4 Galvanic Blast. There's a lot of 2 damage, 2 toughness creatures in the format that are going to fuck you over. I would say there's going to be 80% 2 toughness and lower, and 20% 3 toughness and higher in the format that are really going to screw you over early game. So this card's excellent. No need to run the Incinerates when you're paying only 1 less mana to deal with 80% of the creatures in the format. Favorite card in the deck, for Moonmist. Moonmist is excellent. Really gives you a lot of cool tricks that you can do. You can, they swing with a bunch of stuff. You can activate a Moonmist. They're tapped out, and you can block with whatever you want and kill their stuff. Pretty cool combination. When you have it on your turn on the play, you can play it, flip everything, and then swing. It's always fun. Or you can just swing. They don't declare blockers. Activate Moonmist, and then you can usually deal a huge amount of damage with this. Excellent card in my opinion. A huge change to the deck that a lot of you guys had asked for. Going back to 3 Full Moons Rise, once again. Originally I didn't like it just because there was so many burn spells like Red Deck Winds when at the start of the format was playing, they'd burn like a creature per turn, which made Full Moons Rise kind of useless. But in this current meta where there's plenty of good opportunities to regenerate a bunch of creatures, it's really good, and that on top of it'll give everyone a +1/0, which makes Kruin Outlaw swing for 8 instead of 6. And if you have a Mayor, she's swinging for 10 instead of 6. So definitely a good card. I had to revisit it, and I'm glad you guys did suggest that. And just showing you guys I do take your suggestions into account. So 3 Full Moons Rise. And the last 3 spells, 3 Brimstone Volly. I opted up 1. It's just fun to swing with a token, knowing that they're going to block it. They destroy the token, then you just hit them for 5. It's just fun. And you can do other shenanigans with it. And if you really need to, you can play it as an expensive Incinerate. But never really had to do that. So mana, 8 mountains, 6 forests. Actually 5 forests, excuse me. So 5 forests, 8 mountains. And then your 4 Copperline Gorges, 4 Rootbound Crags. Oops, sorry, another card's stuck together. 4 Rootbound Crags, and then 2 Kessig Wolf Runs. And that rounds out the deck. Still 60 cards. So I really hope you guys like this deck profile. And once again, thanks so much for your suggestions. So thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe.